Okay, let's jump right in. We always hear about how blockchain's transparency is its greatest strength. But what if that's also its biggest weakness? Today, we're diving into ZK Rollups, a fascinating technology that might just be the solution.
I mean, it's a real question, isn't it? For years, the story has been that this public, unchangeable ledger is the absolute key to trust. But, you know, in a world where we value our privacy more than ever, having every single transaction you make out there for anyone to see, well, that creates some pretty serious problems.
And this leads us straight into what a lot of people are calling the privacy dilemma. Seriously, if blockchain is ever going to go mainstream, this is something it absolutely has to solve.
This really is the heart of the problem. Your real name might be hidden, sure, but your wallet address can be traced. I mean, think about it. Your job pays your salary to your wallet. Now, literally anyone with that address can see not just what you earn, but every single thing you buy, every service you use, every donation you make. That is a massive hurdle for real-world adoption.
And look, it's not just about hiding your coffee purchases. Businesses have trade secrets they need to protect. Individuals need to be safe from being tracked or targeted. Without a real solution here, blockchain is just going to stay a niche technology for a select few. So, what's the fix?
Well, the solution comes from this incredible area of cryptography called zero-knowledge proofs. And trust me, it's a total game changer for how we think about blockchain. So, to put it simply, a ZK proof lets you prove something is true without revealing how or why it's true. Imagine proving you have enough money in your account to buy something without ever showing your balance, or proving you're over 21 without ever revealing your actual birthday. It's all about getting that verification without the exposure. This quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the whole idea. You get all the benefit of trust and verification, but you don't have to reveal any of your secret, private information. The math itself is what provides the trust. It's pretty amazing. Okay, let's make this even clearer with a classic analogy. Picture this cave. Each time you pop out of the correct path that the verifier calls out, they get more and more certain that you must know the secret to that locked door. You do it enough times, and eventually they're completely convinced you have the key, even though you never, ever showed it to them. That's the core magic of a ZK proof. So, we've got this powerful cryptographic tool, this kind of magic trick. How do we actually use it to solve blockchain's biggest headaches, like speed, cost, and privacy? Well, that is where ZK Rollups come into the picture. And the idea behind them is just brilliantly efficient. Instead of jamming up the main Ethereum blockchain with every single tiny transaction, ZK Rollups grab hundreds of them, handle them all off to the side, and then generate one single tiny ZK proof that basically says, hey, trust me, all of these transactions are legit. Now, let's see how this compares to other scaling solutions. You have things called Optimistic Rollups, which basically assume all transactions are valid, unless someone challenges them. That can lead to these really long waiting periods if there's a problem. But ZK Rollups, they use pure math to prove their validity right from the get-go. This means faster finality, way better privacy, and no painful waiting period. It's a huge shift from a system of innocent until proven guilty to one that is proven correct from the start. So what you end up with is really the best of all worlds. You get the incredible speed and super low fees of a Layer 2 solution. That's a separate chain that runs on top of the main one. But you combine it with the rock-solid top-tier security of the Ethereum mainnet itself. And you get privacy baked right in.
Okay, so we know what ZK Rollups are and why they're such a big deal. But how does this stuff actually work under the hood? Let's peel back the layers and take a look.
You can think of it like a four-step dance. First, transactions are collected off-chain into a big batch. Then, a single proof is generated for that entire bundle. That tiny little proof is the only thing that gets sent to the main Ethereum chain, which can then verify it almost instantly. And boom, in one single move, hundreds of transactions are confirmed securely and for a fraction of the cost. So behind the scenes, you've got three main players making this all happen. The sequencer is kind of like the bouncer at a club, gathering and ordering all the transactions. The prover is the genius mathematician, doing all the really heavy lifting to compute the proof. And the verifier is the final security guard. It's a smart contract living on Ethereum that checks the proof to make sure everything is valid. Now, of course, no technology is perfect, at least not yet. The biggest challenge for ZK Rollups right now is that generating these proofs is really computationally expensive. It takes a ton of processing power. And while the tech is incredibly powerful, it's also pretty complex for developers to build with, which can kind of slow down adoption. But even with those challenges, the potential here is just massive. ZK rollups aren't just some theoretical idea on a whiteboard. They're already being used right now to build a faster, more private, and more scalable internet.
And I mean, this isn't some far-off futuristic concept. We're already seeing ZK rollups power all sorts of applications. You've got private payment systems where you can send money without broadcasting the details to the whole world. There are DeFi platforms where your trading strategies can stay completely confidential. And in the world of gaming and NFTs, this tech means fast, super cheap trading of digital assets, which is opening the door for so many more people. It's making things possible that were just a dream a few years ago.
This is exactly why ZK rollups are such a central, crucial piece of Ethereum's own vision for its future. The whole game plan is to let the main layer, Layer 1, do what it does best, which is provide security, while all these Layer 2 solutions, like ZK rollups, handle the massive volume of transactions quickly, cheaply, and now privately. So here's the bottom line. ZK rollups are not just another small upgrade. They represent a fundamental shift in how we can build on a blockchain. By making privacy a core feature, not just some optional add-on, they are paving the way for true mainstream adoption. And that really leaves us with a final, fascinating question to think about. Once this technology really matures, and fast, cheap, and totally private transactions just become the default way things work, what entirely new applications and systems are we going to build? The possibilities? Well, they're just starting to unfold.